video. The fish in the video was right at about 4 pounds, and it took place on Nickajack Lake. But what I really want to do is I want to dive into the rod, the bait I was using, and the line I was using as well. Now, let's start off with the rod. The rod I was using, of course, Joe Burns rod, Joe Burns custom rods. Now, one of the reasons of many I like a Joe Burns custom rod for catching smallmouth like that. For example, the spinning rod I have here, it has so much power in the backbone of this rod, but the power it has in the backbone does not take away from the overall durability of this rod and the sensitivity this rod has. You know, a lot of rod companies, when they try to build a powerful, a strong backbone in a rod, it takes away from a lot of the sensitivity and the lightness of the rod. This rod is a super light rod, but it's still a very durable rod. Has a immense amount of backbone in the power in the backbone of this rod, but it has a super sensitive tip. When that bite's really light, you're bouncing baits on the bottom. You really have to have that sensitive tip when it's bouncing along to kind of determine the difference between a bouncing around on rocks or a fish that picks it up and starts bouncing along the bottom with the bait in its mouth. But Joe Burns rod, I choose to fish with Joe Burns rod just because of how insane these rods are. As far as a custom built rod, you could call Joe. He could build you anything you want. You could get built with the Joe Burns custom rod. He could do it whatever colors you want to match your shirt, to match your boat, truck, whatever colors you want in the wrap. It goes as far as measuring your forearm length, your grip in your hands, for him to know how long you want your handle built, for however you like to fish, whatever style fishing you like to do. He'll build that rod to suit you. That's one of the cool things about having Joe Burns build you a rod versus going into a bait and tackle shop and just buying whatever they have off the shelf. Is he will match your fishing style when he builds this rod. All right, let's move our line. Now, the line I was using, and I use this line a whole bunch when I'm fishing for smallmouth. And I'm going to start off by saying it's K9 fishing line. Now, I will say I am not sponsored by K9, but I don't mind plugging companies even though I'm not sponsored by them when I really love the product. And this is K9 fishing, K9 line. It actually was a 6-pound test. As you can see, when I was fighting that fish, I was very careful with letting that fish, with playing that fish out. When you have a light line like this and you're fishing around a lot of rocks, you want to be very careful because this line will break easily. If that fish decided she wanted to surge on me, and as you can see, I was feeding that fish line through the drag system on my reel, let my reel do the work. If that fish decided she wanted to surge and I wanted to hold back against her, it probably would have broke this line because, again, it is 6-pound test, and those smallmouth, when they get to be 3.5, 4 pounds, they're powerful fish, especially up here in any kind of a current-driven body of water. They're really strong. But moving on to the bait. Now, this is the bread and butter of catching this fish. And both the hook and the bait is made by Bruiser Baits. The bait is a McMinnow. And what's so cool about this McMinnow is, and I'm going to show it to you right here. That's the McMinnow right there by Bruiser Bait. Let me show you the head of the hook. Now, the bait is a McMinnow. What's so cool about this bait, and I pair it with a flat-out tungsten net head. All right. But what's so cool about this bait is when it's bouncing along the bottom, bouncing, it's actually with its tail up as it's bouncing, because the bait is a very durable, And here's the thing about durability in a bait. And one of the best things about bruiser bait soft plastics are they're very durable. A lot of these baits you could catch many fish on without having to discard it because they just won't tear up on you. But they're very soft. They're a very soft bait as well. A lot of durable baits they're so stiff and so hard because, and again, like the Joe Burns rod, you make a powerful rod. A lot of powerful, strong rods take away some of the other attributes of the rod, like the sensitivity or the lightness of the rod, because they're so strong. They're a little bit heavier. Where Joe Burns, you got that power, you got that strength in the rod, but you still got a very light rod, a very sensitive rod. Same thing with bruiser baits. They have came up with the perfect formula for pouring their baits. You'll get a very durable bait, but you're going to get a bait that's soft and pliable. Sometimes when you get a very durable bait, they take away from the softness and the pliability of the bait because they're making it very strong. And on the flip side of that is some companies, when they try to make a bait so soft, they take away some of the durability and the overall longevity of the bait because they're trying to make them so soft. Well, bruiser bait has a combination, and when they pour these baits, where you get the best of both worlds, you're getting the strength, you're getting the very strong, pliable plastic, but you're getting a very soft and pliable bait as well. So when the fish sucks in a bruiser bait soft plastic, such as a McMahon or any other soft plastics for that matter, when they suck it in, that bait is such a soft, pliable bait, it has that real feel to the fish where they won't spit it out as quick because it actually feels real, because it has that softer texture to it versus a little bit stiffer bait because it's made so durable. It's a little bit stiffer. It has a kind of an unnatural feel to the fish. It doesn't feel real, so they're going to spit it quicker, give you less time to react on the hook set. But that is my 1, 2, 3 punch for catching a lot of these smallmouth up here. So anyway, guys, you got to get out, check out Joe Burns Custom Rods. Have him build you the perfect rod. You get in touch with Joe at 423-618-9499. Again, that is 423-618-9499. And if you're in the East Tennessee area and you want to pick up a rod that day, you can't wait to have one custom built for you, swing by Fishtails Bait and Tackle as well. And they're located at 5008 Georgetown Road, and that's in Cleveland, Tennessee as well. He always has a huge selection of rods in stock that's ready to walk out the door and fish with that day. And also, guys, I am telling you, bruiser baits, and they have a lot more besides the McMinnow and their soft plastics, but you have to go to their website and check Bruiser Baits out as well at bruiserbaits.com. Make sure you go to the website, and they have everything from top water baits, soft plastics, jerk baits, line. They have so much at Bruiser Baits that's unbelievable. All the apparel, the whole 9 yards, guys. That you want to go to Bruiser Baits, check them out, along with the McMinnow. If you were up here catching those big smallmouth, use the McMinnow for that. But anyway, once again, it's www.bruiserbaits.com. Guys, my 1, 2, 3 punch: the rod, the bait, Bruiser Baits, Joe Burns rods, the line, once again, K9 fishing line. I used a fluorocarbon in a green color. It's actually virtually 100% invisible when it goes below the surface, but it's that green for blind people like me that need to be able to watch the line, can't see it if it's not, that fluorescent where it really shows up above the surface. But once again, it's that fluorescent green in color, but once it goes below the surface, it is not visible by the fish. So guys, I'm going to leave it at that. Make sure you check these products out. You can't beat these products. And once again, these products support the industry, and that's what it's all about. You want to support the companies that support us as fishermen. So guys, check them out. Norman Lee Fishing. Tell them I sent you when you go to the companies. Anyway, guys, we're going to leave it at that. Until next time. tight lines, and remember, when you're on the water, catch a big one with a Joe Burns rod and Bruiser baits. When you do, catch another one from me as well. We'll see everybody on the water.